Good evening, Purple family. Welcome to another episode of Shades of Purple, a Prince podcast. On tonight's episode, we're introducing a new series called Versus. So, in this series, we're going to be looking at different Prince albums, different Prince songs, and then comparing them to other artists' albums and songs. And also, we're going to do verses with Prince's own songs and albums. So, tonight, to start it off, I thought the best album to do this with is Michael Jackson's Thriller. As we all know, Michael Jackson was Prince's biggest rival in the 80s. And so I have on tonight a special guest, my husband, Gabriel Crutchfield, who has his own podcast called Man with the Beanie. So welcome, Gabriel, to Shades of Purple. Welcome.
Hey everybody, thank you for having me today. I'm glad to be here and I'm glad to have this Michael Jackson and Prince debate today, and I think it's going to be a good show and I can't wait to see what we find out today.
Yes. So Gabriel is going to be on the Thriller side, representing Thriller, and he's going to argue why Thriller is a better album than Purple Rain. And of course, your girl is going to be on the side of Purple Rain. And I'm going to explain why I think that Purple Rain is a better album than Thriller. And so, how do you want to start this? You just want to just give some statistics? And then just compare, and then we just go into the singles and the songs, or I know we talked about it a little ahead of time, but how do you want to do it?
We can probably start off with, I guess we could try to do let's break down the commercial success, the impact of the albums. We could say, where was you at the time when the album came out? How was you feeling? What
Okay.
did you think? You gonna want to have the audience to feel what was going in your head when you first heard this album compared to the other album. Because,
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead. Okay.
well, I'll let the host go first and let you kind of speak your opinion about it, and then we can go on to do other things as well.
Okay, all right. Well, I was gonna let you go first, but okay, so for me, Purple Rain came out in 1984, June 25th, 1984.
Hmm.
And I was not even a year old yet. So I was a baby. I was an infant when the Purple Rain album came out. So my earliest memories of Purple Rain came much later, I think in the 90s, by the time I actually heard the whole album. So, but I think when it initially dropped, for the people that were old enough to remember it, I do know that it made a huge impact. The Purple Rain tour was huge. So was the movie. Like that summer of 1984 was basically Prince's summer. The movie came out at one point. He had, because of Purple Rain, he had the number one single, the number one album, and the number one movie all in that same summer. Because back in May of 1984, was, I think, May 16th was when the first single from Purple Rain dropped, which was When Doves Cry. And I think it finally hit number one, I believe, sometime in July. And then the next single, Let's Go Crazy, also hit number one shortly after it came out. And then the movie came out in July, July 20, I want to say it was like 26th or 27th of 1984. The movie came out. So it was like the Purple Rain just became its own cinematic universe in a way. And so the impact was huge. For those who have listened to my review of the Purple Rain album, I refer to it as the Purple Flood because if you were alive back then, Purple Rain was just it in 1984. So the impact was humongous. Now, I will say, of course, now it did not touch the impact of Thriller because it did not sell as much. I'll say that. Because it only went at the time, I think it went 2 times platinum when it came out. Now it's over 13 times platinum and it's sold over 25 million copies worldwide. So it's still in the category of one of the best selling albums by any artist of all time, but it's nowhere near where Thriller is. But I don't discount that because I still think that Purple Rain to me is a better album because of its cohesiveness. It has a theme. It just the songs seem to go together. That's what I mean. when I say cohesiveness, better than than the songs on Thriller. And for me, there are a couple of skippable songs on Thriller where there is not a single skippable song to me on Purple Rain. So that's my spiel on the impact. So what about Thriller?
I think, okay, guys, we gotta know. We all know that Michael Jackson came up with Thriller in November 29th of 1982, and this is at the time where in 1982 Michael did his first album off the wall back in '79. So he wanted to go ahead, change the whole style, make it a lot different, make it a little bit darker, but make it more appealing and something a different sound at the time. So in '82, you had to understand Michael Jackson was big. You know what I'm saying? At the time, especially coming out, being with his brothers of the Jackson Five, and wanted to do something different within the impact of his music. The first album did really good, but he wanted to go bigger. So when we think about singles that came out, Michael Jackson had out of 9 songs, 7 major singles, and all of them did good. We got "The Girl Is Mine" with Paul from the Beatles. We got Billie Jean. We got "Beat It." We got "Wanna Be Starting Something," "Human Nature," "PYT," and of course "Thriller." All these songs did well. Like the whole album, if you really look at it commercially for Michael Jackson, that's a big, big deal. Because commercial says it did, as we counted now, 33 times Diamond, and right now, as a speaking recent, I believe it's 34 times Diamond. But I mean, I heard maybe what a month ago it might have went 35. So, I mean, when you look at it like that, the numbers talk. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he
Oh
had
yeah, absolutely.
pop pop success, which this is kind of at the time. I believe this is what they gave him, basically to me, the king of pop. This is when that album really uh, brought out who he was as a pop artist as well as and major music artist. I mean, you gotta look at the time. The album was recorded back on my birthday of April 14th of 1982, and it ended back in November 8th of 1982, and the album came out in stores November 29th of that year. So you gotta understand the impact of it, the revolution that the music video format and solidified Jackson of the status of a global superstar. Like you got Thriller, that was big. You got Billie Jean that came out on MTV. Like I said, Michael was the biggest thing ever at this time. Like
Yeah, he
it
was.
brought.
He
So
was. He had a huge impact for sure.
that's what I'm saying. That it
But
was. But like I said, I will say this: Prince was coming in. You know what I'm saying? Because this is right here for Prince. This is something that brought Prince out. 1999 was a good album as well, but that Purple Rain did bring him out, and then people were like, okay, we know who he is now. But Michael, it was like, oh my God, it's Michael Jackson. That's how big the two are.
right,
You got it from oh my God, it's Michael Jackson to okay, Prince, we see you. That's the difference. That's that feeling. You know what I'm saying? So,
right,
but as an album, I could listen to the whole Thriller album straight from 1 to 9. Even The Girl Is Mine, because at first, I ain't gonna lie, when I'm a younger, I probably couldn't listen to it for nothing in the world. But as an adult, I could listen to it straight. I mean, from "Wanna Be Started" to something, "The Baby Be Mine" to "The Girl Is Mine," the Thriller song, "Beat It," Billie Jean, "Human Nature," PYT, and "Lady of My Life," which is my favorite song. And guys, like I said, the numbers don't lie. Michael Jackson mania has been killing. You got to understand that when Michael Jackson did the moonwalk, nobody was touching that. Everybody was shocked. It was the biggest thing on TV on CBS. So,
yeah, it was.
so we had to understand that 1982, Michael Jackson had it locked down, shut down. So for Prince, I appreciate Prince. I appreciate Purple Rain. It was a cool album. I enjoyed Purple Rain. But my album of albums will be Thriller, and I'm part of that diamond and platinum status. You know, I'm part of it. So
Right.
tell me about
Okay.
okay your thoughts
Yeah.
on both
o-
albums.
Okay. Well, as much like I said, as much as I love Thriller, the only thing that bothers me a little bit about Thriller is the fact that it didn't feel as authentic to me as Purple Rain. And the reason why I say that is because, of course, he had Rod Temperton doing a lot of songwriting. He had Quincy Jones, and not saying that that's a bad thing, because I do know that he was heavily involved in the project. But for me, I kind of felt that Michael was just chasing hits. Like, that's what I mean. And he wanted to sell, like, I think he said 100 million albums, copies, or whatever. And so that's what he was looking for. He was looking to just make hits for hits' sake. Because you have to think about it now. Michael, he came from that Motown machine, where
Mm-hmm.
you had people, you had producers, you had songwriters that were set up for you, and all you had to do was sing. And so coming from that, that's all he knows. It's like, I need to get in here and make hits. Whereas Prince, I think, was looking at it from an artist standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to also, not saying that he didn't want to make hits, but Prince did everything, pretty much virtually by himself. He did all the production. He
Mm-hmm.
did, everything. He did the writing. He did the music, all of that. He was a one, as they say, he was a one man band. And I guess I appreciate Prince's work ethic, a little bit more than Michael's. And I can also see, where he wanted Purple Rain to represent, him as an artist, but he wasn't necessarily chasing hits. He was using it as a background for the movie that he wanted to do, which I like that he did those together, and it rightfully earned its accolades, because Purple Rain did receive an Oscar for original soundtrack, something that Michael and Thriller never got. And so I think that critics would probably say they would like maybe Purple Rain a little bit more, because it was more of a thematic album. And it was really something that Prince did all by himself. Prince could go into any studio and come out with a hit. Making hits were not as important to Prince. Like, he could make a hit by himself if he wanted. If he was all about hits, he could did, like he even said when Around the World in a Day came out, and there was a lot of disappointment because everybody was looking for a Purple Rain 2. He was like, I could easily go in and do another Purple Rain 2 if I wanted to. But that's not what he wanted to do, because making hits wasn't as important to him. He wanted to make art, because that's what he saw his music as. And I guess for me, I have a more of an appreciation for that, because he wasn't trying to be, particularly, commercial and all that. Like, even though
Mm-hmm.
you could argue that Purple Rain is probably Prince's biggest commercial album, but
True.
that's not what he was trying to do, at least not in my view of it. So
Mm-hmm.
because of how he went about doing Purple Rain, I think I have a better appreciation for the music and the album itself. Whereas Michael, he's just like, he needs the accolades. He wants the accolades. He wants to win all the awards. So he's going to get the best producers, the best songwriters, he's the best engineers, the best people that'll play instruments for him, because of course he didn't play any instruments. So he's going to get the best of the best. So yeah, his album is going to do great. He got the best people in the business. So that's just my view of it. But do you want to go ahead and talk about the singles, or did you want to say something to that?
I can say a little bit something to that, and then we can go straight to the singles. Um, from
Okay.
my perspective of growing up watching Michael Jackson, I knew that Michael Jackson was a child star growing up. You know, Michael Jackson has been doing it ever since he was probably what 6, 7 years old. So you gotta understand.
Six, seven. I see what you did there.
Yeah,
6, 7.
no, I wasn't trying to be funny with that one, but don't get somebody in there started. But anyway, um, my thing was basically to see Michael Jackson grow up to make songs, beautiful songs as a kid, songs that was written by people like Smokey Robinson and the Temptations and other people like that, and created the sound of watching young Michael Jackson grow up making music. And like I said, yes, I understand he was chasing his, but you gotta understand being in Motown around older people, that's all they were trying to do was to make great hits for people for us to
Yeah.
listen to. So I get that feeling when you get to that point of life. Like I said, would Michael Jackson wanted to do instruments? Maybe so. But with the father he had, he couldn't do all that. He just needed just to sing. So my thing is Michael Jackson does do his bebop thing, and that's just like that's how he wants to hear his drums played into his music. So they
Right.
say that's his input, and then he does write some of his stuff too. So to me, when I
Mhm.
hear Thriller, even though I get what you're saying, it's commercial and it's not feeling the way you feel, like I said, Michael Jackson been doing it for a long time. So Michael Jackson was hungry for hits, but as Prince being the person he was, Prince wanted to be more known. You get what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah,
was trying to go for
he
that.
did.
He wanted to be known because at the end of the day, as long as Prince been doing it, after what 4 or 5 albums, he wanted to kind of do something that was just bigger than that, and I respect that. And with Michael Jackson, he was already at that pinnacle. This
Yeah.
album is just one of them albums that when him and Quincy didn't get the results they wanted out of Off the Wall, they said we need to go bigger, we need to go harder, and this is this
Right.
coming out of this great album. Like you gotta understand that Thriller is gonna always be played. Every Halloween, Thriller the song is gonna always be played in commercials and movies and everything else. Just like him, Mariah Carey, all I want for Christmas is always gonna be played on Christmas time. So
Right.
that's how much a commercial says and all around thing is. My thing is at the end of the day, Michael Jackson's name will live on forever. Prince's name will live on forever too when people find out more about him. But Michael Jackson's name it just
Right.
sticks out way more. No offense to Prince. Because some people are like, who is Prince? We just found out who Prince is. But Michael Jackson ain't been out there to the point where every time you hear a dancer, they always say Michael Jackson. Every time you hear certain songs, you see Michael Jackson. Every time you hear samples, you hear Michael Jackson. So the impact, even from generation to generation now, Michael Jackson will live on through these young generation of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you got even
Yeah.
with
So I
NY
think,
Chopper. Look at NA what's it NA Chopper? He was doing Michael Jackson moves in that video, even though it was a diss song. He was doing Michael Jackson, and he
yeah,
went young.
Offset also was is obsessed with Michael Jackson as well.
Exactly.
So yeah, he definitely has a larger impact because, like I said, once again, he was much more well known. Where Prince, he has his core fans, or as we're called, the Purple Army, the Purple Family, and we will continue, on his journey, on his legacy.
Mm-hmm.
But as we're not going to get into it on this episode, but we can talk about, how we can talk more about Prince's legacy versus Michael's legacy. But let's get into these songs. So there are 9 songs for each album. So
Yes.
we'll just go one by one and talk about the different songs. So the first song on Purple Rain was his second single, which is Let's Go Crazy. So this, I think, was the absolute best song to start the album off with. It's very cinematic.
Hmm.
He's starting off Dearly Beloved,
Hello.
like as soon as you hear that, like if you are a elder
You
millennial
going
or
off
a
right
Gen
now? I can't
Xer,
hear you.
you automatically know what that song is. Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to get through this thing called life. So, I mean, he sounds like a preacher and but he's actually talking about, good versus evil in the song. So, I love it. I mean, I think there was a really strong way to start the album off, very memorable to this day. It's probably, one of his well known songs outside of the Purple Rain song itself. So I love Let's Go Crazy. I loved his guitar solo at the end. I love everything about this song, and how the fact that good, punch a higher floor, don't let the elevator, or also known as the devil, let bring you down, let's go crazy. So that's my feeling on Let's Go Crazy. What is the first song on Thriller?
Okay. Unfortunately, the phone was having problems, so I didn't get to hear every bit of that. But
Oh,
I
okay.
understand everything you was kind of saying so far. But let's get to what my first song is. So my first song is gonna be from the Driller is "Wanna Be Starting Something." "Wanna Be Starting Something" is one of them songs when you hear it. Of course, everybody knows the end part of the song that "Mama said, Mama Saba Mapusa." Is that part always goes hard on this song, and even to the point where Michael Jackson is having fun with the song when he's kind of being goofy when he talks about you're a vegetable and I hate you because you're a vegetable. So Michael Jackson having fun with "Wanna Be Starting Something." So basically, the song is just talking about, people want to have problems with me, got to have a problem with my girl. It's like you always got something to say, you always want to start something, you
Right.
know. So Michael Jackson is just with this song, you just kind of feel like, well, people got something to say it. I'm right here. You know what I'm
He
saying?
said, "Bring the smoke. Bring the smoke." He said he ready for the smoke.
Yeah. You always want to be starting something, then come, what's up with it? In so many words, that's what he's saying. And then he giving you African words to say. The mama say, mama sa, but
Mama said,
mapusa.
"Mama said, Mama said." And they were saying online for the longest. That's not what he was saying. He said, "I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm not gonna stop." But they said that wasn't true. That he was saying that. Mama say, Mama sa, Muma kusa. I think is how you say it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So to me, I feel like that's a song. That song is always one of them songs that's just been always a big hit, a strong one, and that's actually his fourth single that came out May 9th of 1983. And I was just 1 year old when this came out. Well, I was just born. I was just born. I'm not one. I mean, I was just born in April, so I was only a month at that time. So
Okay.
at this moment, this song will be always one of them hype songs to me. When you turn it on, it gets you hyped up. So I consider my number one song a hit. "Let's Go Crazy" is
Okay.
banging, but "Wanna Be Starting Something," I think people would know both. I think "Wanna Be Something" is just something it just pulls you in every time you hear it. It pulls you in. So I'm giving it to "Wanna Be
Okay.
Starting Something." That's on me.
I like "Want to Be Starting Something," but it doesn't hit. It doesn't to me. It doesn't have the same impact as "Let's Go Crazy." But let's go on to the next song. Number two is on Purple Rain is "Take Me With You." Now, I do like "Take Me With You," but I'll be honest, it's probably not. It's probably one of my least favorite songs on the album. I do love the drum solo that the drums how Bobby Z does the drums on this song. The rolling kind of. I like that part of the song, and of course, I love Prince's vocals, but I am not a fan of Apollonia's vocals, and I actually think that Jill Jones had to go back and do some work on Apollonia's vocals on the song. But I do like the song very much. I love the lyrics of the song. I like how it was incorporated into the movie with them on the motorcycle going to quote unquote Lake Minnetonka. So I liked how the song was utilized in the movie. I thought it was the perfect scene. But if I'm being honest, I wouldn't say that it was a skip because I listened to it. But it's not my favorite song on the album, only because of Apollonia's vocals. But other than that, I really like the song.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's a cool song. It's one of them songs like if I had to just not skip. I mean, for me, I probably could skip it, but it's one of them songs that I could listen to and to be like, yeah, it's cool. But it's not nothing like. It's more to me. It sounds like a pop song. More that you know what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
more. It's definitely more pop. So I'll give it that.
Right.
So it's cool. The song is cool. It's one of those songs that if I'm playing it and I just don't feel like skipping, I'll let it ride. But 9 times out of 10, it's not a repeatable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For me. So my number two is "Baby Be Mine." Now, "Baby Be Mine" is funky. I like "Baby Be Mine." It wasn't a single that Michael Jackson put out, but it is a funky song, and the song is beating like that. Like I said, he just, Michael Jackson just trying to talk his game to a girl, telling my girl, you gonna be mine. So basically, the beat is fine. It got that funky sound of the '80s. You know what I'm saying? Got the flutes in there. It's a fire song. So I would definitely consider this one not a skip for me. It's to me it's a banker. It's one of them album cuts that just like, all right, this is fine because it got you already hyped from want to be starting something, and then when this come on, you still hyped up. So that's just one of them songs that it gets you moving. So
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't even remember this song.
that's
Like, I don't remember it. I would literally have to listen to it again. So I really don't have an opinion on it because I don't remember it.
she
I'm
must have not
sorry.
listened. I think because you don't listen to Driller a lot, so you probably don't remember it. So I get it. So
Yeah, I don't have an opinion. So going on, moving on to the third song. So the beautiful ones. The beautiful ones is my favorite song on not only this album, but the beautiful ones, as you know, Gabriel, is my favorite Prince song of all time.
yeah,
I absolutely love. It's my ringtone. It's been my ringtone for like what, 2 years at least, maybe three.
three probably.
So longer than that, like I mean this song is absolutely perfect. At one point Prince was thinking about, before he made the beautiful ones, he was thinking about putting what was that, sexual intercourse or electric intercourse.
Oh,
And I like electric intercourse, but I think the beautiful ones is a better song, and it definitely fits the theme of the album, and it worked perfectly again in the movie. Like he knew exactly where to place these songs in the movie. And the beautiful ones is just, I mean, his screaming, his like, you can tell he's very emotional because, of course, he's thinking about Vanity. Him and Vanity broke up prior to
mm-hmm.
the start of filming for the Purple Rain movie. And I totally believe that it's about her. Now, other people are saying that could have been about Susanna, because they were in the process of just, starting dating and getting together. But I really do believe that it was about Vanity. And he kind of verified this in a roundabout way when he did a interview back in 2015, the year before he passed, in an Ebony article that he did. So you can just like, it's so like it's raw emotion. And then I like the drums. I like the arrangement of the whole song. It's just beautiful. I love his vocals. I mean, it's just a top tier, S tier song. And I mean, I don't want to say this, but I feel like just the beautiful ones alone beats out like half a Thriller to me.
Oh, hell.
Like,
Oh
I'm
no.
just sorry.
Oh no.
I Beautiful ones is just
Oh.
that good of a song to me. To me.
Hey, yeah, and IMO. Definitely IMO. So here's my thing. I understand the beautiful ones is a dope song. I will give it that. But over all of them, nah.
I said
You
half the
saying that,
songs on
yeah, but
Thriller.
you
Like,
saying
I
that.
didn't say all of Thriller. I said half the songs on Thriller. I think Beautiful Ones by itself,
I
it
mean, yeah,
just
like
knocks
if
half
you
the
had to
Thriller
go
out.
in the battle mode, yeah, it could probably do some damage to maybe two songs. So yeah, I get it. I say about
What's
two.
the third song on Thriller?
All right, let's get to it. The third song on Thriller is basically "You'll Take Me With You." Is basically "The Girl Is Mine" with Paul McCartney.
Okay.
So
Okay.
with this one, I get it. It's something that they planned on doing because they were friends at the time, and Paul was big because he's from the Beatles and then some. So I get the pop value of this and the value of that song could be a hit in the pop world. So I get why they did it. So it's one of them songs. As an adult, I get it. But as when I was younger, I was like, oh, can I skip this? So I get it. You know what I mean? As an
Yeah, so
adult,
we compare it to the beautiful ones. Yeah, that will definitely trump beautiful ones definitely trumps The Girl Is Mine for sure.
yeah, I'll give you that.
Continue.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. I still think Baby Mine beats Take Me With You. I don't care what you say.
Okay.
So
What's number
you gotta know the
4?
song though. But
So
the
for
song is
Purple
fine.
Rain,
My
the
Michael
fourth
Jackson fans will
song
be like,
is
yeah, I can see Take
Computer
Me With You was
Blue.
okay. For the pop people, yeah. For the pop people, yeah, that's what it is. But anything else now. We can go ahead and go to the next song. You ready?
Okay, I think you keep going in and out. Can you
You
hear
want
me?
Yeah, yours going in and out as well too.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with that. It could be the internet connection. I changed mine to the one of the extender ones. But anyway, so number four, the number four song on Purple Rain is Computer Blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Computer Blue. It's a complete rock song. Actually, I love the extended version called the Hallway version of the song, where he breaks down the different hallways of love, different things going on, and Computer Blue was kind of ahead of its time in a way because it talked a lot about, finding love on a computer, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
poor lonely computer, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
So I like Computer Blue. It is a really, really good rock song. And once again, we have Prince screaming his butt off. And I like the little breakdown that he used for a father song. It was once again just a stellar, stellar song. Um, Everything about it I love. So, what is number four on Thriller?
All right. I'm sorry. It's kind of hard to hear you because it's going in and out again. I apologize. Um, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. This one gonna trump your computer blue. This Thriller. Number four is Thriller. Um, self-explanatory. I really don't have to really say much. It's Thriller. Uh, so Thriller is one of the biggest songs ever created. Big song. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you got to understand the music video, the impact, the old man talking in the movie, the video that felt like you watched a full movie, but it was like only what 10, 15 minutes, maybe shorter than that, probably like seven.
Yeah, he had a cinematic music video. Yeah.
Right, and then just him dancing. I mean, him being a werewolf for 1 minute and then being a zombie the next minute and dancing as a zombie. Come on, man, that was fire.
It was iconic. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. It was definitely iconic for sure, for sure. I remember being very scared as a little girl watching the music video growing up.
It's creepy.
But the only thing that really scared me was at the very end when he had those yellow eyes. Oh,
Yeah,
it used to frighten me so bad when I was a little girl. I liked the music video, but I didn't at the same time.
yeah, I get it. It was kind of creepy, especially when Michael Jackson was changing. The zombie didn't bother me. I guess it was the werewolf when he was changing to the werewolf. I was like, oh my god. And then when that old man got to laughing at the end, oh my god.
Vincent Price,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was creepy, man. Super creepy. So yeah, like I said, just from the impact, as much as how strong Computer Blue was at the time, and which is a cool song, it's Thriller. Like you put any
Yeah,
song against
I'll give you
Thriller,
that one.
yeah,
I'll
you
give you
put
that.
any song against Thriller, that's like your Michael Jordan of songs. You ain't gonna lose, okay?
Right, yeah. I'll
So
give you that one. Just for Computer Blue. Now, I still think, if you compare it to Purple Rain, that I think that is more of an even thing. But
Battlefield, yeah.
comparing it to Computer Blue, yeah, Thriller will definitely trump Computer Blue for
Oh
sure.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, Number five for Purple Rain, the number fifth song, number fifth,
Fine.
the number five song is Darling Nikki, which Darling Nikki is probably the most controversial. It is the most
Yeah.
controversial song on Purple Rain because it is the whole reason why we have the parental advisory stickers.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who don't know the story, so Al Gore's wife, oh my God, what is her name?
Tipper Gore.
Was it,
Tipper
what
Gore.
was it?
Tipper Gore.
Tipper. Okay. I don't know why I thought I was going to say Peggy or something. But okay, Tipper Gore, she bought Purple Rain for her 11-year-old daughter. And when they were playing it, because, they love the song Let's Go Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so they started playing it. And then Darla Nikki came on and she was like, oh my God, I don't want to expose my children to a song like this. Because he has a lyric where he says, I knew a girl named Nikki. I guess you could say she was a sex fiend. I met her in a hotel lobby, masturbating with a magazine. So she heard that and freaked out and created the Parental Advisory Board, which led to the posting of the filthy 15 is what they called it. The most 15 of the nastiest, dirtiest songs that she wanted the Parental Advisory Board, which she headed, to either ban or restrict in some way. And there were artists like what's his name from Twisted Sister, that went on to Capitol Hill to kind of combat this, because it's about freedom of speech, the First Amendment, and artists should be able to um, express their First Amendment right through their craft, through their art, through their music. And so it was a big deal about it. But now when you look back at it, a song like Darling Nikki is so tame compared to the stuff that comes out now. But back then it was a big deal. And to put this with Michael Jackson, and a lot of Michael Jackson fans do not want to believe that this is true, but I believe it to be true. Michael heard Darling Nikki and made Dirty Diana. So Darling Nikki, I said, it's a good song. I listen to it all the time. Once again, Prince is, doing his screaming, the drums, and I mean, just the whole arrangement of the song. And then if you, on the record, he has a little message back. He said, God is coming. God is coming. Hello, how are you? So you know how back in the day people would say if you ran a record backwards, it would have some kind of demonic saying. So Prince turned that around and had like a heavenly saying, like Jesus is coming again soon, because he was also, on his, well, Prince was always religious, but he always had God in the forefront of his mind all the time, even when making, a nasty song like, like Darling Nikki, because, on the B side, we had a song like, Erotic City, so he was always, playing off of the two, spirituality and sexuality. Those are constant themes in Prince's music. So what is the number 5 song on Thriller?
Sensational. Okay, let's get to it. The number 5 song, uh, Beat It. Oh,
Mm,
wait.
okay.
Oh, we coming with the A. We got the
That's
top.
kind of
You got
funny.
the name. Beat it. Come on now. Just beat it.
So
But you wanna beat there? Just come on now. Beat It was a big hit. Shout out to
it was a big hit.
my guy from New York Undercover being in the music video dancing with him. If y'all don't know, if
Yeah.
y'all watch New York Undercover, Detective Torres is in the video dancing with Michael Jackson. And it blew my mind when I found out that he was a dancer back in the day. But go
Right.
watch. I mean, Beat It is a classic song, classic video. Michael Jackson got the red jacket. He was doing his thing, man. Shout out to Beat It being such a classic song. Oh, Darling Nikki I get it. It's made it. It has its impact. But Beat It, like if you hear any other song other than this album, I promise you will hear probably Beat It more than Billie Jean, more than Thriller, more than Human Nature. Beat It is everywhere. Like if I go to a store right now, you're gonna hear Beat It.
Yeah, Beat It was a big song, and it was for the longest, Beat It was one of my favorite songs on Thriller.
Yeah.
But then I started gravitating toward other songs, but for the longest, I loved Beat It. And I still do. I still like it. But I think it's funny that Darling Nikki and Beat It, I mean, Beat It is talking about just like move, like go away,
Yeah.
where but beat it also means masturbation, in the same way that
Mhm.
Prince was talking about masturbation in Darling Nikki. So I think it's funny that those two songs are right next to each other.
That's an interesting concept, I see. But yeah, that is funny. But I have to say, man, Jolly Nikki gave us Prayer Anniversary, but Beat It gave us a master hit. So I have to go
Yeah.
give it to Beat It.
Yeah, I think only by a little bit. I'll give it beat it to, because it was a bigger song than Darling Nikki, uh, but just barely in my
Mm-hmm.
mind.
But
Um,
it's still a win.
so okay, so what number are we on now?
We are on number
6.
6. Yes.
Okay, so 6 is When Doves Cry, which is probably the biggest hit on Purple Rain.
Yes.
If we're talking about hits, it was his first number one song to go number one on the Hot 100.
Yeah.
And I mean, the guitar solo in the beginning, uh, the um the keyboard solo, I mean, just the way the song is arranged. Once again, Prince was a master at arranging songs, and I this is another one of my favorite songs. And even our daughter knew When Doves Cry. So that means that When Doves Cry is one of Prince's biggest, most well-known songs outside of Purple Rain. So it had a masterful impact, I think. He's talking about his relationship with Susan Moosey, allegedly. This was what When Doves Cry was about. They were in a point with their relationship. For those of you who don't know who Susan Moosey is, she was one of the women, the other girl that was in
Vanity
Vanity
C.
Six, and
Yeah.
she was also in Apollonia 6 as well. She was like she's Trinidadian, I think. She's from Trinidad. So her and Prince dated in the early 80s for a while. And actually, I think they were dating around the time he did like the Dirty Mind album. I think it's when they were dating. Um, and so he actually has another song called on Controversy called Private Joy. And supposedly he wrote that song about her. So for me, when I look at those two songs, Private Joy and When Doves Cry, kind of encapsulates his relationship with Susan Moosey. Private Joy was probably at the beginning of their relationship where they were really in love with each other, lovey dovey. You belong to me. He says you belong to Prince. And by the time When Doves Cry came out, they were breaking up, and he was just like, how could you just leave me standing, lonely in a world so cold, why do we scream at each other? So they were getting to the point where they were breaking up, and Prince just was wondering why are we having all these problems? So it was a wonderful song. Like I said, once again, master arranger. Love the song, and that iconic, now talking about iconic guitar solo in the very beginning of that song, to the point where Prince didn't even remember how he did the song. Like, he could never replicate that guitar solo that he did at the beginning of When Doves Cry. So very, very iconic song from Prince's catalog.
Yes, it is. Like when does cut, and also you might have forgot to put out there that people had hits off the sampling of When Doves Cry. MC Hammer, When You Can't Touch This.
Oh yeah, yep. MC
Yeah.
Hammer sampled it. He sure did.
Mm-hmm. So like I said, no, I'm sorry. I might got it wrong. I think it's Pray. It might have been Pray. Was it
Yeah,
Pray? Or,
yeah, it was Pray. Yeah,
I'm
it was
sorry. I
Pray
said
that
can't touch
sampled.
it. No, Rick James. He sampled Rick James as well. That's what I meant to say. Was Pray.
Yeah, he sampled Rick James and Prince. He sampled both of them. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
What
yeah.
was the sixth song on Thriller?
Ooh wee. Mm, mm, mm. The sixth song on Thriller is Billie Jean. Ah,
Oh, okay. That is a good matchup.
right,
That's a good matchup right there.
right. Because we know.
Because yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say, for me, Billie Jean is the like quintessential Michael Jackson song. To
Yes.
me, Billie Jean is Michael Jackson's uh opus. Kind of
Opus.
like Purple
Opus
Rain is for
Magnum. Yeah.
Prince. Like, I don't know. I can't remember how the phrase is, but it's like his opus. That
Opus
is the
Magnus. Yeah.
quintessential. That is his opus magnus. That is the quintessential Michael Jackson song for me. Is Billie Jean.
And I agree on that. Because here's the thing about Billie Jean. Everybody knows, if you don't know the story about Billie Jean, which is kind of like something him and Quincy came up with, Billie Jean was a girl that was stalking Michael Jackson, but we just named her Billie Jean because we didn't want to use her real name. Like this chick would climb over the gates, do everything she can, follow this man. This was a psycho chick, okay, that wanted to, and claimed that she was Michael Jackson's wife, which we all know that's not true. But she was stalking
Right.
Michael Jackson. So when they got one time, Michael Jackson, she was chasing Michael Jackson's car, and he was like, "Look, I'm tired of this chick." And he told Quincy, I'm just tired of her." And he's like, "Bro, let's make a song about it." So they end up using the name Billie Jean because the girl was saying that Michael Jackson, you got my child and all this, and he was like, he's just a girl. They said I am the one, but the kid is not my son. That's something that happened to her. She got pregnant and said it was Michael Jackson. So Michael Jackson like, I never touched you, seen you, nothing. I ain't do nothing to you. So that's basically where the
Delusional.
song came from, Billie Jean, of a crazy stalker chick. But at the end, you
Okay.
also got to remember that Michael Jackson did his moonwalk with this song as well. From
At
him,
Motown 25,
25,
yeah.
yes, he did. You remember he slung that hat? He got comfortable and he hit that moonwalk. Smooth as hell, too. I was like, I still see
Yeah, he
sometimes
did that.
time. So Billie Jean is one of them songs, and Billie Jean is one of those songs that MTV made it number one on account of also other than Beat It. Billie Jean was, I think, the first song that was made it to MTV.
Yeah, Billie Jean premiered, I believe, on March 10th,
Yes, it did.
1983.
Yes, it did.
And a lot of people believe that, that Michael Jackson was the first black artist on MTV. He was not.
Yeah.
Actually, Prince actually beat him on MTV. The video for 1999 premiered in December. I think it was December 16th of 1982. So that is when the rotation for 1999 started. But actually, even before Prince, there was a group. I can't remember the name, but it was a group, and it was a black group, and they actually were the first black people on MTV. So as far as heavy rotation, now you might be able to give it to Michael with heavy rotation, but he was not. Again, I'm gonna repeat, was not the first black artist on MTV. Now, after Billie Jean premiered on MTV, I will say that did kind of open up the floodgates for other artists, other black artists, to also premiere on MTV. But Prince wasn't one of them because he had already premiered on MTV. So just wanted to say that.
I get what you're saying. But yeah, but you are right about that. Michael Jackson is one of the ones that opened up for many other black people to come on to do music videos, and that's dope. Because, like I said, Michael Jackson said, if you didn't get this right, we will be suing. And MTV was brand new. MTV
Right.
didn't need that. So at the end of the day, they did that. And for that moment, Billie Jean is still one of the biggest songs ever. Like, if anybody tell you what's your favorite Michael Jackson song, 9 times out of 10, people gonna tell you white, black, whatever, gonna be Billie Jean or Beat It. So at the end of
Right.
the day, Billie Jean is just one of those songs. If you had to do a top five, Billie Jean would be your at least your number one or number two. So with that,
Yeah, for
when
sure.
Doves Cry, I love when Doves Cry. I love the beat and everything else, but if I had to think of a song between them two, I'll probably put Billie Jean on just because it's Billie Jean, just with that little sound of do do do. She was the
Yeah,
born
it's
at the
good. It's
Billie
good.
Jean that I'm on the scene. Come on now. It's bro, it's iconic.
It is. It's another iconic song. I agree with you. It's another iconic song, but I just like When Doves Cry just a little bit more, just a little bit, just a little
I
bit.
mean, I get why. I get why. So,
But let's move on to number 7. So after When Doves Cry is I Will Die for You. And this was another song of Prince, another religious kind of text song, kind of like when with Let's Go Crazy, talking about
mhm.
God and the devil. And he's actually talking about Jesus Christ in the song because what did Jesus Christ do for us? He died for us. So he's not comparing himself to Jesus. He's not saying he's Jesus, but he's talking about the impact that Jesus Christ left when he died. And I like how he has these like very mysterious lyrics like, I'm not a woman, I'm not a man, I am something that you'll never understand or never comprehend. And that's kind of, he liked that whole mysterious, persona. Like he didn't, because people kind of wonder, he kind of had, the whole androgyny going on. Like if he was a had Purple Rain came out now, they would have, said that Prince was non-binary, that he
Yeah.
wasn't, just based on that lyric alone, saying that he's not a woman, he's not a man, he's not, I'm not a woman, not a man. They would automatically say, oh, he's non-binary. So in that way, but also uh being androgynous was kind of in the 80s, because you had artists like David Bowie and what's that guy from what's his name, Boy George. So you had artists like that that were kind of, you really didn't know, they were kind of feminine men, but you weren't really sure if they were gay or straight. So
Hmm.
he liked to keep people guessing, and of course we know he was 100% straight, very much a womanizer, but people really didn't know that at the time. There was a lot of people, even what's the name that did the review calling him a baddie, like
Yes, sir.
there's still people that think that, Prince was maybe bisexual or gay, but he just liked to, he was him. Prince was him. Okay. Prince was him. And any woman that he dated will tell you he was the complete opposite of being gay. But you wouldn't think that just by looking at him.
No. I mean, 'cause like I said, I mean, a lot of people was it was just the certain things. When I was younger, my first interaction with Prince as a young kid was Kiss, and when I seen Kiss for the first time, it kind of made me feel kind of uncomfortable at first. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, "What is this?" So
Yeah.
and my brothers was like, that man, he ain't something ain't right with him. So, so we didn't know what to think. You know what I'm saying? So, but over
Yeah.
time, you had. That's why later in life I grew to like Prince more because I said he was just different, and I understood what different
Hmm.
was now than compared to then. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way he looked. Because I'm like, man, he kind of gave me a female look. You know what I'm saying? Like he gets
Yeah.
kind of male that very feminine. So it was kind of confusing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I Would Die For You is a great song. I love I Would Die For You. I would not lie. That is a dope song. But for my number seven, it's actually one of your favorite songs that you told me about constantly this week. It would be Human Nature.
Oh yeah, I love Human Nature. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
can't choose between the two. I love
Oh,
Human
I
Nature
got,
though.
yeah, we got you stumped right there, huh?
Yeah, I love Human Nature. Human Nature is now my favorite song on Thriller. So
Yes. Yeah, come on, let's sing. You know the lyrics. Why? Why? Tell them that
tell them that it's
it's
human
human nature.
nature. Why?
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 Why? Did
Because
it
it didn't
go
be
in
that
that way?
way.
Yes. That's
It's
what I'm
a
telling you,
beautiful
man.
song.
It is,
And I
man.
love Michael's vocals. Now, I will say this. I am more of a fan of Michael's vocals when he was younger, when he was in the Jackson 5.
Yeah.
But this song, this particular song, I love the way he sings this song.
Yeah.
And I love his moaning. "Ah," like, it's just perfect. His
Mhm.
vocals were just fantastic in this song. Now, I will give Michael that. And it's probably low key, probably my favorite Michael Jackson song is Human Nature. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I love this song. But you want to say any more about it before we move on to number 8? Because we're almost at an hour.
Yeah. And I'll say it like this. For that song, I would give it a dub only because of just how strong it is. It's been reused and redone by SWV, Human Nature, Chris Brown have redone it. It's been a really impactful song. You know what I'm saying? Every time I hear it, it just like if you hear it, you just become in a mellow mood, relaxed mood. It's kind of like one of those songs. Like if I'm driving and it comes on, it just makes the whole day better. So
Right.
human nature is just we all go through human nature in life. You know what I'm saying? How things go, and that's why I said this song is so relatable in so many ways. So I
Right.
do love "I Will Die for You" because I'm a big Christian. You know that. And
Yeah.
but human nature, it might beat it by just a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so too. You know, hate to say it, but yeah, probably just by a little bit. But moving on, number 8 is Baby I'm a Star. So this is a song that Prince had recorded back in the late 70s, I think 78,
Mhm.
79. And it was supposed to be on I think the Prince album.
Yeah.
But he saved it, he said, for when he finally became a star. And so Purple Rain, this was the album where he's like, yes, I have arrived. Even though the 1999 album was absolutely fantastic and it had some really great hits, but Purple Rain was where he was finally the most well known um at this point in his career. And so he saved this song Baby I'm a Star for this moment. And it was the song that they played after Purple Rain in the movie when the movie was going off. And it's just a song basically saying, I am here, I'm arrived, I am a star, undeniable. You know, just like, let me tell you, baby, I am a star, you know,
Mhm.
and I just love it because he's so confident and you could just tell that it's just a fun song. It is just it's a good song to work out to, too. One of my favorites to work out to because it has such an upbeat, tempo and, I like it. I love it. He does this and I like everything about the song. I do. I love everything about it. He said, "Might not know me now, but you know me now. Might not know me then, but now you know me now because what, baby, I'm a star." like, so, what is the eighth song on Thriller?
Ooh, okay. The eighth song on Michael Jackson's Thriller album would be PYT, Pretty Young Thing.
Okay.
And Pretty Young Thing is a really fun song too. Like both of them are good dance songs. You know what I'm saying? Like you can
Yeah,
hear
they
Pretty
are.
YT in the club, in the bar, whatever, and people gonna move to it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna one of them get up songs, get up and you ask this girl to dance with you. You know what I'm saying? Or just one of them good "I Wanna Holler at You" songs. And I think you're fine. You know what I'm saying? It's basically Michael Jackson talking his game or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I do like the
Yeah.
song. I like the beat. It's real funky. You know what I'm saying? So it's a cool little song. You know what I mean? Like every woman I know that heard the song have used it probably on a meme or something in their life. Um, Name the theme song of theirs. So yeah, this PYT, and then the people still use that to this day. PYT. So
Yeah,
I
they
think it's
they do. And my favorite part of the song is when he does a little kiss at the end.
yeah.
Pretty young thing.
Right. So like I said, it's an impactful song. The song is dope. The song is dope.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So
Both of them are.
yeah,
Both of
both
them
of them
are for sure.
will get you out to see. So I guess we'll make that a
Hmm.
tie on that one.
Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay.
Well, finally, at number 9, we have Purple Rain. So, Purple Rain remains one of my favorite Prince songs. Of course, it is the song that he is most well known for outside of people that aren't familiar with Prince. They at least know this song. It was the very last song that he sang on the piano during the piano and microphone tour just a few weeks before he died. And I mean, it is the most impactful song of his career, without a doubt. And the guitar solo, and and Gabe can tell you this, like, I I just now to the point where I can listen to the guitar solo without crying. And I would do this even before Prince died. There were times where I would watch the Purple Rain movie, because he plays Purple Rain at the end of the movie, and I would just bawl. Like, I think 2014 or 2013, I think one of those years when I watched it, because I watch it every year. Like, now I watch it every year, like around Prince's death day or on his birthday, one or the other. Um, and I mean, I would just cry, like, oh, but I mean, it's such a beautiful song. It's probably one of the most beautiful songs I think ever made. And I know a lot of people in the Prince camp get tired of the song because that's really the only song that he's known for. Like, and in the wider world. But it's a good song. At least it's not a bad song that he's known for. It's an
Well,
absolutely beautiful song. And he actually approached what's her name from Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks, to do the lyrics, but she said that it was too much for her. Like she was intimidated by the song, and so Prince went back and did the lyrics himself. A lot of people think that because he said in the movie that the song was something that Lisa and Wendy wrote, that they wrote it. No, Prince actually wrote Purple Rain, and he did. You know, now the only thing that Lisa, not Lisa, Wendy. Now she did do the chords for the beginning. You know,
yeah.
like she created that iconic chord in the very beginning. So that's Wendy. I'll give her that. But everything else is Prince, and the song is just perfect.
Mm. Yeah, man. Like I said, Purple Rain is one of them anthem songs. Them songs you can hear anywhere and everybody will end up singing it. So Purple Rain is just one of them songs. This is one of one. So I give you that with that one. My number 9 and final song from the Thriller album is "The Lady in My Life." Um, I give "Lady in My Life" is one of them most chillest, most coolest, most direct love songs you can ever hear because it's a passionate. The way Michael Jackson sings it, the lyrics are really good. The melody is real chill. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful song. Um, it doesn't, accustomed to Purple Rain, but I think "Lady in My Life" is one of them songs that's kind of like if you wanted to end the album on a good note, on a real relaxed, chill note, that's the song you want to end with. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be a
Right.
hype or a big ending. It's just one of them. Hey, we're gonna smooth it out for the end of this album, and that's what Michael Jackson did because he gave you them hype songs and them iconic songs, and now he just want to keep it smooth and keep it mellow as it ends out. And that is to me a perfect ending for an album, just to kind of smooth it out, smooth. So
Absolutely.
I enjoy "Lady of My Life." Like I told my wife, she has to listen to it more, guys. She got to listen to the lyrics of the song. It's basically it explains a lot in relationships, marriages, a lot of things. It's basically saying that we've been together for a long time. We've been through our ups and downs. But at the end of the day, I can't see myself without you. I can't see myself being without you in life. And you always know that you always will be the lady in my life. That's what the message is so powerful. It's like, regardless of what's going on here in my life, regardless of what's going on there in your life, just know that we got each other and we're gonna be there for each other. And you'll always be the lady more than any other woman that we always more important to me in my whole lifetime. That's why I love that song.
Um, well, I love being the lady of your life, babe.
Thank you.
And I will go back and listen to it again. It's been a long time since I've heard the song, so I definitely will go back. I'll probably listen to it on my way to work tomorrow,
Yes.
just because I want to, see what you're talking about. Like I have heard the song, but it's been a very long time, so I will listen to it. And I
Please
thank
do.
you for those remarks very much.
Yes.
Um, so I think that we are over an hour now. So
Yeah.
I think that's where we're going to probably end it, you guys. Any final remarks you want to say, honey?
Yes, I had a good time doing this debate with you with the Michael Jackson and Prince Purple Rain album, and I would definitely say that Thriller won. But but anyway,
Okay.
but I do enjoy this. I would love to do more versus battles with you or whoever you want to talk about. We can talk about other Michael Jackson Prince albums. I would love to see what
Okay.
Dangerous, maybe Dangerous compared to another Prince album, maybe Dangerous versus Diamonds and Pearls, or
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's a good one.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Off the wall versus for you. You never know, because if you
Oh,
listen to,
okay. Okay.
yeah,
I
those
like
are.
that.
So we got some albums we could talk about real soon, and I would love to do this again. This was really fun, and like I said. Also, let me go ahead and make one quick mention. Uh, if y'all get to hear the deluxe version, if it's on Spotify and Apple Music, check out these bonus songs from the Thriller album that did not make it that are really dope. For all time, Carousel, which is a fire song. Can't get out of the rain. The toy, one of my favorite bonus songs of it. Sunset Driver is one of my favorites. What a lovely way to go. And She's Trouble. So definitely check out them bonus songs as well from the Thriller album. They will be on the 42nd anniversary of the Thriller album and the super deluxe version of Thriller. Y'all check them out.
All right, thank you. And also check out, I know it's kind of lackluster because they didn't put any new songs on it, but the Around the World Today Deluxe Edition is out. It came out on the 21st. So check that out. Purple Peoples. I haven't purchased it yet. I'm still going to. I just haven't gotten around to it. Eventually, I'm probably, because I just started our TikTok channel. Haven't really did much with it, but I am going to start putting stuff on there. I'm starting to do Prince facts. Gabe does music facts on his TikTok.
Yes.
So I think I might start like a Prince facts. Just start giving, just random Prince facts to kind of build up my TikTok. So be on the lookout for that. Also be on the lookout for more of these versus episodes. And I just want to say, I know it has been a long time since I have done a podcast episode. And I do apologize for that. I'll just be honest. I was kind of feeling uninspired. Of course, I will always and forever love Prince. But I was just like, I was really trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about. And so when people started talking about, Thriller versus Purple Rain online on some of the other pages, I was like, oh, wow, that's a great idea for a podcast episode. So shout out to Desi for the idea because it was on her page. And I was just like, oh, so I wanted to give her credit for giving me that idea. So thank you, Desi. I got to get you on the show at some point. So interview you because she is a huge Prince fan and I would love to interview you. So Desi, when you hear this episode, because I know you're going to check it out, hit me up, girl. So with that being said, you guys, peace and be wild, and may you live to see the dawn. Bye.
God bless y'all. We out.